with Radio Maria here in St. John 23rd, Rabwood Parish. It's always our joy to be with you on Radio Maria. And today we are honored to have this great feast of St. Mary Magdalene. And as yesterday where I was for Mass, I started this week with making an emphasis on fighting the enemy within. In our lives we have enemies without and enemies within. And the enemy within mostly is ourselves. In the struggle, it's more difficult to fight the enemy within than the enemy without. And these are things that touch on our Christian life, on our faith. Ngima wa kaka jo Christus, kaka onego wadagi, nitie gigo manyalo ketho ngima no ngima wa kaka jo Christus. And this is when we allow the enemy within to cast doubts in our faith, the enemy within to speak negatively to us. And most of our parishes suffer because of the enemy within. The negative self-talks that bring negative energy to me as a person, and my negative energy might in a way affect, or let me use a bigger word, infect other people. The crowd mentality, the group dynamics that we face. And we see today a very good teaching of Mary Magdalene. Yes, there is the crowd. Yes, there is a group dynamic. Yes, they have all the reason to lose hope. Yes, they have. Life is difficult. Yes, it is. Jesus is dead. Yes, it is. He is in the tomb. Yes, it is. But that does not prevent Mary Magdalene from going back to the tomb. And very early in the morning, the act of stooping down, of lowering ourselves in search for Jesus. And also as in our life, unless we decide to be Mary Magdalene and leave the crowd and choose to search for the one we love, who is Jesus. Tomano nyisere oken mana kende I utewa. Yes, utewa bede nitie. But at times we must go out and search for Jesus. Maybe my family members won't do that. Maybe in my family we have reasons to give up. Maybe in my family we have reason to complain, to doubt. We have our own issues. We know them. But in and an, Manyaka Obedeka made Magdalene, Wadok Keno Ilian Jesus. And she goes, and the tomb is open. It's open. One day, if you go back, the tomb will be open. And Mary Magdalene sees the two angels, one at the head, one at where the legs were. where Jesus was laying. Woman, whom do you seek for? They have taken my master away, and we don't know where they have laid him. The search continues. This search, okedmanani ngima wakakajo Kristo masakramit. This search is the love that we show to our church. This church is the participation in liturgy, participation in the life of the church. How much do we bleed for the church that we love? Even if we must contribute to give the best to our church, to see that our church is at its best. And we bleed, of course. But the joy is when Jesus calls us by name. Not only Mary, maybe Mato, maybe Beatrice, maybe Victus, maybe even Jonte. And we say, Rabboni, Rabboni. Teacher, we learn from Jesus. Jesus, who never allowed the enemy within, the doubts, he fulfilled the wish of the Father, even when it meant death on the cross. He bled for us. I wish we as Christians may remove the negative energies we have. I wish we as Christians, like Mary Magdalene, may every morning, every evening, speak to ourselves, but have positive talk to ourselves. That yes, if we all believe in Christ, and our strength, our power is in our numbers, we can do anything and everything for Christ. Christ who comes to us in our own situation, our difficulties, but able to lift us up the way he told Mary, don't touch me, for I have not ascended to my Father. Where Christ has ascended, we too, his followers, his brothers and sisters, we will ascend.